What's going on, everyone? Austin John Place here, and today it's going to be time for the trailer analysis and website deep dive of the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl. Yep. Already made the new intro. That's how on top of it I am about this. Okay, great. Few things. Before we take a look at the trailer and go over frame by frame and every single thing that we have to go there, because it is a remake and it's not made by Creatures Inc. and it looks to be almost a one-to-one game in the same way that Link's Awakening was remade by Grezzo, and that's like a very faithful recreation, but you know, cleaned up, modernized, new engine, new everything. Diamond and Pearl is not that big of a game. Just so everyone's perfectly aware, hang on, let's pull it up. If we take a look at Bulbapedia, before Platinum, Diamond and Pearl only had a Pokedex of 151 Pokemon. That was it, and that was including Manaphy, Dialga, Palkia, and the Lake Guardians. And then as of Platinum, it was brought up to 210 Pokemon. So we don't know at this time if it's going to be 151 Pokemon, which would make sense if it's, you know, a small little nugget of a game here that isn't meant to be part of like the core RPG ecosystem and not really expanding on anything. Or if they're going to be taking elements of Platinum and putting it in here, kind of like we saw with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, how we saw elements of Emerald, mostly with Rayquaza, brought into the game, which was neat in the Delta episode. Or if they're going to fully modernize it and bring in even more supported Pokemon. It's a big question at that point, because if they don't expand it to, you know, more than 210 Pokemon, maybe they do 300 or 400. I doubt they're going to be all 890. Like, it's going to be weird to see Eternatus in, you know, chibi art style. So don't bet on that. They might have some Pokemon from the newest generation, but honestly, I don't think they're going to be really expanding that much, which might be weird for the competitive scene, or the competitive scene may literally just stay in Sword and Shield for now. So there's still a lot of, again, I'm going to say this so many times, there's more questions than answers, and a little bit of information is coming in at a time, but I'm going to give you every single piece of information that we have so far. In addition to that, when it comes to Pokemon Legends Arceus, I'm going to have a separate video talking about that because I don't want this to be way too long. Pokemon started a Twitter thread shortly after the Direct was done, about a half hour it was done, or the Presents it was done. If Sinnoh's your favorite region, your time has come. Experience the nostalgic story from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl in a new adventure, coming late 2021. Most likely October or November, that's when we're going to be seeing it. And it's basically like, hey, do you want to start with Turtwig or Chimchar or Piplup? Dialga is spoken of in Legend. Palkia has the ability to distort space. You'll be able to encounter the legendary Pokemon Dialga in Diamond and Palkia in Pearl. So yes, it does sound like they are going to be box exclusives depending on which game that you purchase. Which one are you going to be picking? And then there's a link here. Oh, and this is exactly where we were going to be going to on the actual Pokemon website, which is right here. Unlike they did for Sword and Shield, there's not a lot of website information here. You'll be able to visit many different locations in the Sinnoh region while striving to become the champion. Screenshots are all things that we have seen already. There is a big emphasis on faithfully reproduced, so this is sounding like it's a one-to-one remake. Don't expect anything else. The sense of the scale in the originals, towns, and routes has been carefully preserved. People who play Diamond and Pearl can revisit familiar places and relive familiar scenes for once more. For those setting out on Sinnoh for the first time, like myself actually, plenty of new encounters and surprises await. I should probably play Platinum before the game comes out. These remakes include easy to understand, player-friendly conveniences of the modern Pokemon series. So we're going to have things like when you choose an attack, it's going to say if it's super effective. There's probably going to be, you know, easy online trading like there was in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and Sword and Shield. I doubt we're going to have a YCOM-like system like we do in Sword and Shield. It might be something based on what they did in Diamond or Pearl, but sort of modernized. Whether you played Diamond or Pearl back in the day, or you're encountering these games for the first time, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Cool. The starters. Yeah, that's literally it on the website. Okay, let's get into the trailer here. As always, we are going to be doing playback speed at half. That way we don't get copyright flagged here. From the beginning of the trailer, we are seeing a Nintendo DS. There's nothing really too special going on here, as we are seeing footage of the current Diamond and Pearl video game. And it ends with approaching the Dialga or Palkia statue. and then we have a transition going into experience the brilliance once more. Upon our first frame here, we can see the character remade into the small petite form right here, a laptop, a flat screen TV. Well, it's not very flat, but it's kind of flat compared to what was there when the game released. And you're gonna notice a Nintendo Switch here. Ironically, there is one Joy-Con attached and one Joy-Con separated. That's not actually how you play your Nintendo Switch. It doesn't really work that way. In our next scene, we have a top-down of several of the different towns of the game. The encounter screen right here, I mean, if I'm being honest, this looks very, very much like the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee style. The background of this forest actually has a very full-looking backdrop to it. The trees, honestly, look pretty nice. Not gonna lie. They do not look like Majora's Mask trees, that's for sure. Something also to notice here is that the lighting engine has been updated, and we can actually see a live shadow from what Prinplup is actually doing. As you notice that it's waving its little hands, you're going to see that the shadow below it is dynamic and changes with that. That is a first to the Pokemon series. Based on this scene right here of the trainer throwing the ball, we're now led to believe that it is not a Let's Go style because that game only had a first-person view, and this is actually, if you select the item, you get to see the animation of the trainer throwing the ball. So because of that, we are inclined that it is not a Let's Go style game. Also, I'm pretty sure they would announce that, so I think we're pretty safe. At the very beginning of the game, your rival comes out of the house, thuds into you, and they throw out their little bird. On this scene right here, we can see that the trainer's footprints actually start to disappear as they are walking away. So it even looks like they have a dynamic system for the footprints, which is honestly a really nice touch and kind of unexpected. So apparently this team, they're putting a lot of effort into the details here, which are things that typically people think that Game Freak overlooks, and then how it shifts from the top-down perspective to entering this town. This is the cutscene for the first time you enter the town, I believe, and this trainer comes to greet you. Like, it's a really nice greeting of the town, and to know that it's a dynamic camera, just like Link's Awakening, it's just overall nice. Actually, this game reminds me so much of Link's Awakening, that they did that diorama clay style, and here we have something similar. It does appear as though we are going to be having traditional battles when the trainer will walk up to you and then initiate the battle, as opposed to how we've seen recently where they just stand in one place and yell at you. Here we have a Garchomp versus a Lucario. If we look at the backdrop, again, instead of it just being, you know, some general darkness over here, we have a light in the background to help break up things, which is actually a really nice change of pace. The lighting still is coming down directly from the top, so it's not like we really have an accurate light going on. Instead, the characters are very well lit in the middle. It's like there's this giant skybox of light just shining down on them. So it's not dynamic based on the environment, unfortunately. We have Apom and Staraptor. Lucario doing what I'm assuming is an Aura Sphere or Focus Blast. This Hyper Beam from this Porygon too. Like, look at that. That's an animation. That's an animation we haven't seen in a long time. I like that. And then just like we saw at the beginning of the trailer, we zoom into the Box Legendary. Releasing worldwide, late 2021. At this point, we could assume, keep in mind assuming things, is going to be either October or November to be coinciding with Pokemon's regular release schedule. May have something to do with the anime, but then again, who knows? Do keep in mind that everything here is still in development, and we are talking about a game that's coming out in, you know, over 6-8 months, so a lot of things could be changed. It does look very nice on how they are changing some things around with the environment, and that is appreciated, as opposed to the typical Creatures Inc. style. I'm just doing a quick double check over the Japanese trailer to see if there's any differences. So far there isn't, and something that I want to point out here is you can't really tell because of YouTube's compression algorithm if this is a 30 FPS or 60 FPS game. It looks like it might be 60, but it's now compressed down to 30 on this actual YouTube video, so we're not really too sure at this point. They have such a cooler logo than we do. Looking back at the Pokemon Presents Pokemon 25 video, this is what I was speaking in regard to. It's not developed by Creatures Incorporated, instead it's by Ilka, the people who made Pokemon Home apparently. In addition to Masuda is going to be involved in the directing of this game. Something else that I want to point out here is we've seen the trainer walk in several atmospheres, but in the underground area is the first time that we see, or right here is when we see them actually run. So it does look like this is going to be a two-handed game play style, not like a one-handed style like Let's Go, which is nice. It doesn't look like they're going to have any friendly two-player actions going on. Instead, it's going to be very, very traditional to the original game, which again, everyone who wanted this game, I don't think that they're mad at this. And honestly, at this time, this is all the information I've been able to find. There's nothing really going on. So that makes me feel like it's even more of a one-to-one remake of Diamond and Pearl originally. And if there are any new features that are going to be in place, they haven't been announced or talked about or anything. In fact, there's a lot of emphasis on Legends, and that's going to be the next video that I'm going to be putting out, analyzing every single little piece of information that we have on that, and that being a brand new engine and environment and everything. We're going to be putting a lot more attention to that other than this quick video of just, hey, this is what it is. Honestly, other than surface level, there's not too much going on. But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.